everyone, I'm Miss Karen at Adams Memorial Library here in Latrobe, Pennsylvania. Welcome to our September Inquire Within program. So Inquire Within is a program where we've got some activities for you involving some PBS Kids favorite characters and some other activities that you can do. And this month we are all about apples. All about apples, so we've got apple crafts for you, apple recipes, make an apple tree. It's all about apples this month. So we have kits that will be available in the children's room. You can come in and pick up a kit. You can call us and reserve a kit, or just pick it up through curbside service if you'd like. But some activities and the materials to do the crafts will be in these take-home kits, thanks to our friends at WQED Education and Clearview. So the things that were in the kit this month, for the PBS Kids activities, a lot of it is recipes using apples. So it'll be things to do together as a family, but there was also a maze with, here's Ernie from Sesame Street. He's got to get past the apples and past the pumpkins to make his way out of the hay maze, so you can help him with that. And then maybe you would like to have a Super Y TEA party, where everything at the party starts with a T or an E or an A, you know, like A for apples. So you can make these apple special treats and serve it at your TEA tea party. So if you like smoothies, Cyber Chase has a cyber berry smoothie recipe, and it involves some apple juice and some berries, and so it will be very yummy if you want to serve that at your party. Nature Cat is interested in making a fruit snack, so if you were going out to pick apples or you're taking a walk around in the fall, maybe you would like to take some fruit leather along with you. You can make it with berries, or you could always make it with apples too. So that could be a family activity. And Daniel Tiger really likes heart apple chips. And this is something that definitely needs an adult, because what you do is cut up apples so they're very, very, very thin, and then you kind of dry them in the oven. Now, if you cut the apples really thin, they'll be more like chips. If you get them less thin, they'll just be dried apples, and they'll still be yummy that way. But if you do make the chips, as I said, you have to cut these apples thin, 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 or they won't dry out enough to be crispy chips. And they don't stay crispy that long, but once they've come out of the oven and cooled off a little bit, they are going to be good and crispy and yummy to eat. So it makes a really good snack. Daniel Tiger likes them, and you might too. So if you like apples, this would be a great snack. All these recipes would be good. And if you want to do some apple crafts while you're waiting for your apple chips to bake, I've got some of those to share with you too. In the kits, there will also be a Growing Greener sticker from WQED and Tree Pittsburgh, and an Age of Nature bookmark from WQED Education that you can use to, put in your books in case you were reading a book about apples, for example, like this one called Apple Farmer Annie. You can always use a bookmark, but I feel you can never have too many bookmarks, because, you're getting a lot of books out from the library, so you can make an apple bookmark too, to use in your Apple books or any of your books. I love these corner bookmarks from Red Ted Art, because they have so many for all different occasions, and in this case I have one that looks like an apple, so that's the one that we're going to be making this month with the materials in this month's Inquire Within kit. So in the kit there will be some red paper and green paper, and you can decide if you want to make red apples with a green face or green apples with a red face or some other combination. It is up to you, but it's a little apple. Here's a leaf, here's a little face on it. If you wanted to, if you had a picture of yourself printed out, you could put your own face on it, give it as a gift to somebody, or you can decorate a face like I did here. But to make these, you need a square of paper. So the pieces of paper, the red and the green paper, will be 8.5 by 11. So since it's 11 inches long, if you cut it in half, it'll be 5.5 inches, and that'll be the perfect size for your square. So you can get two bookmarks out of each piece of paper. So you could, you could really make 4 since it'll be green and red. You can decide how you want to do it. But if you cut the paper in half, it'll be 5.5 inches, and then you want to make a square. So you want it to be 5.5 inches on the other side too, and then you'll have some extra pieces that you can use to decorate the face. But once you have your square, you're going to need to fold it, so it'll be making this little pocket that'll go on the edge of your book, like this. So you'll take your square and you'll fold it into a triangle with the point at the top, or facing away from you if you have it down on the table. And then you'll take the end, you'll take this corner and bring it up to the top, like that. You'll take this corner on the other side, bring it up to the top to meet the first one, like that. And then, so now you'll have kind of a little kite shape, another little diamond, but you're going to open those again. And there's 2 pieces of paper at the top. Because you fold it in half, you're going to fold down 1, not both of them, just 1, because that's how you're going to make the pocket to hold your bookmark onto the corner of the book. So you'll fold 1 piece of paper down, and then you're going to fold these side corners up again, but instead of meeting at the top, you're going to tuck them behind that little pocket. So you tuck that one in, bring this one up, and you tuck that one in too, and then it's ready to be your bookmark. But you need it to be kind of apple-shaped. It can't be completely apple-shaped, because if you make a complete circle of it's going to fall apart. So you're going to make it apple-ish. You can find something round and you can cut the bottom round, and you're going to take a little bit off the top, but these parts are still going to be straight because that's what's holding it together. So if you cut it in too far, then you'll just have all the pieces of paper and they won't make a pocket. But if you do that, you can always tape the ends, and that'll work too. So once you've trimmed it at the bottom and at the top, you can make another little circle out of, probably the different paper if you want it to be able to show up. So that's why on my red apple I have a green face and a green leaf. So you can make the leaf, cut out a smaller circle, make that into whatever kind of face you want, and then it is all ready to put on your book. To make this 3D tree, I don't know if you can see it, but the branches kind of are 3D. They're popping out at you a little bit. In the kit, you will look for a piece of blue cardstock and brown construction paper, and then there will be half sheets of green and yellow and red, and that's what you can use to make the apples or leaves. I made mine to be extra fancy, so I have red and yellow apples on the same tree. So it might not be exactly like an apple tree you'd find in nature, but it makes a nice decoration. So you will take this brown paper and you're going to cut it into strips, and that's what's going to be the trunk of the tree and the branches. So you can cut a piece that's a little bit thicker, that'll go up maybe halfway up the tree. And if you're making a longer strip, you can actually cut it in half, because you glue half of it down for the trunk, and then you take thinner strips. And if you make them long ways like this, they'll be easier to make 3D, because you'll take all your strips and you'll glue them onto the trunk part, and it's going to go out like the rays of a sun. So there'll be one facing this way, one facing this way, and the other ones will go up and around. So you'll have them all glued to the trunk, and then you'll take the other piece that fits the trunk, if you've cut it in half, and you'll put that on top of it, and then it'll help secure the branch pieces, and it'll cover them up so you won't see where they were glued on. And then what you will do with these strips, they're going to be long strips, you're going to kind of flip them around probably 2 times to make sure it does the actual kind of curling, and then you glue them back down. So you can glue them, I don't know if you can see how these are glued down like this, so that you just twirl them around, glue them back down, and those are the branches of your tree. And then you can take the red, yellow, and green half sheets, cut out little circles, maybe an inch across, to make apples cut the leaves however you would like. Then you can just glue them all over to your branches carefully. You'll just need to kind of hold the branch behind, and it'd probably be best to do this after the glue has dried on the branches before you start attaching other things. But if it comes back up, there's a glue stick in your kit, just glue it back down again. Kind of hold it in place to get everything glued down. Put your apples on, put your leaves on, and then you're good to go. You've got a lovely fall decoration. And you can also decorate with these apple sun catchers. There'll be some black paper in the kit, so if you want, you can put them on like this. You can make it into a card, then glue some white paper on the inside and write a message. Or if you can do it like this, if you just want to hang it up as a decoration. If you wanted to, you could take the black paper and take the outside and use that as a decoration too. So you'll see the center part, which is what was cut out to make the sun catcher, and you could decorate with that. You could put that on the black paper too if you'd like to use that as a design. But in the kit, there will be this black paper and a few coffee filters. Now here's the most important thing about this craft. You might want to do this outside. You have to cover up, put another piece of paper underneath, put another piece of paper underneath that, maybe some paper towels after that, because it will leak all the way through. This paper is so soft that when you color it, it's just going to come out on the paper before that. So if you have newspaper at home, you can put that down. You definitely need to cover the surface where you're working on this. But once you've done that, flatten out your coffee filter, put that down, and then you can just color it with markers if you have them. You can use crayons if you'd like. So this one had crayons, this one had marker, and then once you've colored it, so just color all around. You're going to be making an apple, so if you decide you would like part to be the leaf or the stem, if you want to put green there, that's okay. It doesn't matter, it's up to you. It's just going to be a fancy apple. Once you've done that and you've colored all the coffee filter, if you have a spray bottle, I borrowed this one from Miss Mary. It's what she uses to take care of the plants in the children's room. If you have a spray bottle, then you will lightly spray the coffee filter. And that is what's going to make the colors blend. Now, if you do the crayons, it's only going to blend a little bit. If you use the markers, it's going to blend more and give it kind of a tie-dye effect. But that is also when the colors will bleed through. So again, make sure you put something underneath before you start spraying the coffee filter. If you don't have a spray bottle, you can just drop a little bit of water on. You could just put a little bit on. If you have a spoon, just sort of drizzle it around that way. You don't want it to be so wet that the paper tears, but just enough to make all the colors blend. And then you'll let it dry. In the kit, there will be this template that has 2 apples on. You might have to fix the edges a little bit. It got a little bit too close to the ends of the copier. But you'll cut one of these out, and that's going to be the template to cut out the apple from the colored coffee filter. If you wanted to use this part too, sort of the frame, then you can just cut one piece across and cut this out all in one piece. If you don't care about using this, having the ring, you can just cut it out however you'd like. So you're going to trace the apple template onto this coffee filter. Carefully cut it out, and then you are ready to decorate. You could put this on a window and make it into a sun catcher and do it that way. And then you'll have lots and lots of apple decorations when you're enjoying your apple chips or your apple books, or just, eating some sliced apples. It's nothing better than a nice crisp apple in fall, I think. So I hope you will enjoy the apple recipes and the apple crafts, and I thank you for watching, and I thank, as always, our friends at WQED Education and Clearview Federal Credit Union for making it possible for us to bring these kits to you. come down to the children's room and pick them up. We'll have them as long as supplies last. If you're not able to come in and get a kit, but you would like the instructions, you can email us at kids@adamslib.org, and we'd be happy to send them out to you. And would love to see your pictures. We'd like to have a gallery going of all the art that our friends at home are making. So please, you can email the pictures too, or you can come in and show us what you've done and what your apple art looks like. So thank you very much for joining us for Inquire Within this month, and we'll see you again next month, friends. Thank you. Bye.